Y'all, they still have this book vending machine. I wish we had this back in the day because, baby, if we would have had this, I would have got every single book up out of there. Y'all know I would. I would have read every book. And then, I would have had started my book club in did I have a book club in elementary? No, did I? No. I can't remember. Did I have one in elementary, y'all? But man, I wish we had this though. So I got the girls some of their favorite Lunchables. Hopefully they appreciate me getting them their favorite Lunchable. Cause kids be always switching what they like. I'm gonna be in my feelings if I done brought them this Lunchable and they say this not even the kind they like anymore. I'm be, y'all know I'm being my feelings. So hopefully they still like this Lunchable. You know what I'm saying? Cause they eat it like once a week. So yeah, hopefully. Everybody, is it good? Hey you guys, it's Sharon here. How y'all doing? What's up, my great guys, great guys, good. Let's take 5 food by the head. Let's fake it for our daily baby. Baby, so y'all know I went to the school to have lunch with my babies, whatever. Tell me why. You know what I'm saying? I had a meeting this morning. I was like, I forgot I was supposed to be going up to school to have lunch with the girls and everything. So here I was calling myself trying to be a good mama and bring them some lunch. I took them a Lunchable. Remind me, y'all, don't do nothing else for my kids. Because they don't appreciate me. They don't. They really don't. I feel in my spirit. I was trying to eat me a salad. First of all, I should have ate before I went up there. Because I knew that my kids, they was going to have the Lunchable to eat. But see, myself, I was thinking, okay, if I give them the Lunchable, I can eat their lunch. Baby, I don't think I showed y'all what they was eating. Listen, I don't even know what it was, but it was, yeah. I don't think I showed it to y'all. But y'all would have been like, what is that? Because I was questioning it myself. And I asked, what I'm saying, when I got there, of course everybody know me there. So everybody, what I'm saying, all the kids, listen. Everybody else's kids love me except my kids. All the kids up there give me hugs. All the teachers give me hugs. Everybody loving up on me. But my kids, you know what I'm saying? My child, she's up there. I'm looking for her. And I'm like, where's my child? Because everybody else's kids coming up to me. I'm like, where? Whoops, my bad. I was like, where's my child? So, the man, that worked there, whatever, he was like, your daughter, she's sitting or whatever over there. I was like, where? He was like, way over there. I was like, where is way over there? Because y'all know I can't see. He should know by now that I can't see. But he was like, let me take you over there. So he took me over there where she was at. So I get over there to her lunch table, all her friends. Hey, they all jump up and give me a hug, whatever. Not my child. She's just sitting there. I was like, hi, Elizabeth. I was so excited to see my child. Hi, Elizabeth. I was like, okay. They, the other kids, they talking to me. They was like, oh, we're so glad you're here to sit with us and whatnot. And, they would ask me, you remember me and all that. I was like, yeah, I remember you. No, I don't remember none of them. Only one I remember is the one that was sitting to the left of my child, like when she, because I asked them their name. I said, well, tell me your names, and then maybe I'll remember you better. So they told me their names. So when the child that was sitting directly next to my child told me her name, y'all, why was it the little girl that was bullying my child last year? Y'all remember that? Mm-hmm. That's who was sitting next to her at lunch. So I was like, oh yeah, I remember you. I was like, y'all friends now? She was like, yeah, we're best friends. I was like, is that right, Elizabeth? Are y'all best friends? Elizabeth didn't say nothing. So I was like, mm-hmm. So the one that was sitting next to her, she didn't have no food. So I was like, where your food at? And she's like, I ate it already. I was like, I bet you did. Or whatever. So, you know, Elizabeth, she opening up the Lunchable and taking her time with it. And so some other kids that see me, they come over there and sit at the table. So the little girl that's sitting next to me, we're talking and everything. And I asked her, I was like, you, what you say your name was? And she told my name again. I was trying to think. I was like, I ain't remember the little girl. I don't remember none of them kids, man. I don't remember none of them kids. Barely remember my kids. We talking about do it. I remember y'all. So she told me, she was like, Elizabeth is my best friend. Why do kids say that everybody ain't best friend? She's like, Elizabeth's my best friend. I was like, is that right? I said, Elizabeth, is that right? Elizabeth didn't say nothing. I was like, mm-hmm. So Elizabeth, you know, would come to Lunchable. I showed y'all the Lunchable I got for them. And it came with a Reese's. Mind you, you know I ain't about that candy life. So Elizabeth takes her candy and she says, I don't want this. And she had it in her hand. So this kid out of nowhere comes and snatches it out of her hand. He was like, I'll take it. I said, no, give me that. And I snatched it from him. And I told them, I said, y'all listen here. Don't none of y'all take my kids' food. Even if they say they don't want it, do not take their food. Do you understand? So then I was like, yes, ma'am. So the one that, you know, that was bullying her, she was like, yeah, I would never take her food. I said, especially you. You better not ever take her food. And I said, and if you got a problem with it, tell your parents. Tell them, come meet me up here if y'all got a problem with it. That's what I said to the kids. They was like, okay, yes, ma'am. Yeah, mm-hmm. I don't play about my kids. I don't play about my kids. So I told them, you know, I told them the kids while we were sitting right there. I said, I don't play. Y'all know I don't play. They was like, yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am. That's on my race. Let me say just in case. Guys, that's good. Let's take food by him. Amen. Y'all, when I was trying to get this salad, I broke my nail. I didn't break it, but I chipped it. Because yeah. So anyway, that was with Elizabeth or whatnot. So when Elizabeth finished eating her food, I told her, I was like, do you want to eat this Reese's? And she was like, no, she don't want it. So the little girl sitting next to me, she was like, can I have it? And I was like, no, because it's not enough for everybody, so I can't give it to you. So I opened it up, and I was like, Elizabeth, hurry up and eat it, because my thing is, I wanted her to eat it while she was at lunch. That way, if she do get like a bunch of energy, I want her to have it while she at school. Speaking of, her teacher told me that she's doing very well in class, and she said that Elizabeth, you know, she's really good at answering the questions, and she gets the answer right and everything. She said, but Elizabeth is not being very vocal, like she can't hear her when she is talking. And I was like, yeah. I said, you know, it's how she is. Come on, you. The teacher that Elizabeth has used to be Allison's teacher last year. So she was a 4th grade teacher last year. You know what I'm saying? Now she teaches 2nd grade. So, you know, I was like, yeah, you got to work with her on that or whatever. I was like, I'm working on it with her too. Y'all, that's what I'm trying to tell y'all. Y'all remember I showed y'all the video when Elizabeth was, what was she, 9 months? And remember when she used to say her sister's name, she used to say, mm-mm. Instead of saying Chunky or Allison, she said, mm-mm. Like when she talks, she said, mm-mm. Like when she say stuff to her, she said, mm-mm. She talked with her mouth closed. We understand what she's saying, but other people who, you know, they're not in our household, they don't know what she's saying. They think that she's not talking or whatever. She be talking, but you just can't hear her. So now that she's older, so back then she was 9 months. Now she's 7 years, and she opens her mouth when she talks, but she doesn't talk loud enough. Like y'all know I talk loud, She doesn't talk loud enough. So if they ask her a question, like if they say 5 plus 4, she'll say 9. Like that. And they'll be like, what'd you say? You know what I'm saying? What'd you say, Elizabeth? 9. You know what I'm saying? She don't say it loud enough for everybody to hear. Still working on that with her. Like, her, I'm not saying I want her to scream, but I do want her to speak louder so people can hear her. Because even when we're in public and people, they be asking, you know, oh, you're such a pretty little girl, you want me to buy this for you? And she'll say, no, thank you, but the people don't hear her. They be like, can she talk? And I be like, yeah, she can talk. She said, no, thank you. They be like, no, I ain't hear what she said. So I be telling Elizabeth, you gotta speak up because some people, they're not good at hearing. And, just speak up a little bit. But she ate the rest of the Lunchable or whatever. But, baby, when it came to my eldest baby, her lunchtime, mind you, I'm standing over there on the stage or whatever, because I'm over there translating to the kids that was, lined up over there, you know what I'm saying? Because their school, it is a bilingual school. So I'm sitting up there translating to the kids over there on the stage, doing my part or whatever. And so the lunch had started for Allison, whatever. So I'm looking. So the teacher asked me, she was like, you see your baby? I was like, nah, I don't. She was like, I don't see her either. Mind you, y'all know, to me, all these kids look alike. That's why I told her, I said, they all look alike to me. She was like, you can't tell which one is yours? I was like, I promise you I can't. I said, they all look alike. And she was like, she couldn't see either, so don't ask me, you can't see either. Huh? It's different kids walking past me. Hey, Allison, mama. Giving me a hug. Hey, Elizabeth, mama. Hey, Allison, mama. And some of them call me mama. Hey, mama. Some of them call me Amy. Hey, Amy. So, I'm receiving love from everybody but my child. So I'm like, where is my child? So the teacher, she's still looking for her. And then finally, we find her. So, I start walking over there. I'm all happy. It's like, hi, Allison and her friends. They all, hey, they all speak. They all get up, give me hugs. Everybody but my child. She's still sitting there. I was like, Allison, I brought you lunch. Did you want to eat a Lunchable, or would you like to eat whatever that is? So my child, see, remind me, don't buy nothing else for my kids, because they don't never appreciate me. Instead of her saying, I eat the Lunchable when I get home or something of that sort, what kind of Lunchable is it? I was like, it's your favorite. And I was like, see? And I showed it to her. I said, see, it's your favorite. So she puts it down and continues to eat the lunch food. First of all, I'm not even going to say it's food because I don't even know what it was. I was like, so you're going to eat that and not your Lunchable? She was like, yeah. I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. I was like, I'll just take it back home. So her friends and stuff, they asked them, can they have it? I was like, if I had more than one, if I had enough for everybody, I would give it to y'all. But I can't because it's not enough for everybody. Plus, y'all know, I don't learn my lesson about feeding other people kids. So, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know that. But I ain't said it to them kids. I was just like, I don't have enough for everybody. So, They was like understanding. They was like, okay, okay. I was like, are y'all enjoying your lunch? And they was like, They was like, they didn't even know what it is. They were like, it's nasty. And they was, trying to figure out what it was. Now, I started cracking jokes about their lunch. And, so they laughing and whatnot. Everybody's laughing except for my child. She's looking like, like she just didn't care. You know what I mean? So I was like, Allison, if you don't want to eat it, you don't have to eat it. You can have the Lunchable. So she was like, no, I really don't like Lunchables anymore. What'd you say? She said, I really don't like Lunchables anymore. Since when? Cause you eat a Lunchable every week. You know what I'm saying? She doesn't eat a lot of Lunchables, but she eat at least one every week. You know what I mean? She ain't never said she don't eat Lunchables no more. So why all of a sudden I done came up here about your favorite Lunchable, which is the turkey one. You know what I'm saying? Well, this is your favorite one. What do you mean you don't eat Lunchables anymore? So her friend who's sitting on this side by me tells me, she said, I can't eat the lunch because I'm lactose intolerant. And I was like, well, what is the lunch? And she was like, I think it's a pasta with cheese. She said, so that's why I can't eat it. So then why my child fixed her mouth to say, yeah, mama, I'm lactose intolerant too. Since when? Because I could have sworn I saw you eat a big bowl of cereal this morning. So that's what I said. So all her friends laughing and stuff. So Allison was like, she was like, yeah, but that was this morning. She was like, now, she said, I'm lactose intolerant. I said, why? Because your friend is? And she was like, whenever I eat stuff that's dairy, it hurts my stomach. I was like, no, it doesn't hurt your stomach because it's dairy. It hurts your stomach because you be having gas. So that's what I said to her. So all her friends was laughing and whatnot. So I was like, let me be quiet because I don't want her, because she the type of child that say that, oh, my mom came up to the school and was making fun of me. So I was like, let me be quiet, let me stop making her friends laugh or whatever, because it's going to go back on me, you know what I'm saying? So, she gonna ask me, Mama, can you buy me an ice cream? You want me to buy you an ice cream? She's like, yeah, can you buy me an ice cream? Did you eat your lunch that the school gave you? No. Did you eat the lunch that I brought up here for you? No. So you want me to buy you an ice cream? And you ain't ate your lunch? Nah. No. She was like, okay. So her friends stuff, they laugh and whatnot. I was like, let me be quiet. Let me be quiet. So her friends, they started asking me questions. They was like, just like Elizabeth friends. Do you remember me? Do you remember me? I was like, yeah, no. I mean, what's your name? So, they all tell me their names and whatnot. Some of them I did remember, but I didn't remember. Like, I remember them a little bit. You know what I mean? The kids, they just steady growing, you know what I'm saying? They first of all, I know I can't see. So, they all look alike to me. They all look alike. The only difference is they had on different color uniforms, and they had different color hairstyles. Baby, wait till my mama come over. I'm gonna tell y'all something that happened when my mama was here. I ain't gonna tell y'all right now. I'm waiting till my mama here because I don't want my mama to be saying, "Oh, you be talking about me on your videos." So I'm waiting till she here. I'm gonna tell y'all what happened. Remind me of jail, y'all, so baby. I was laughing so hard. So anyway, the lunchtime was over, right? So it was one kid that came over there and started cleaning up one night. So the kids, you know, they telling me bye, and I'm telling them bye, and then they telling the kids to line up. So I was like, well, let me go over here and you know, say goodbye to the other kids. Then out of nowhere, a whole bunch of handful of kids came up to me. They was like, Allison's mom, Allison's mom. I was like, yes. They was like, are you leaving? I was like, yeah, I'm gonna leave. I don't think my child wants me here. And then they was like, no, stay, stay. That's what all the other kids were saying. Not my child. She didn't even say bye. She just walked away. I was like, okay. So, you know, maybe she did not like having me there. That's what I be feeling, y'all. Cause every time I'm up there at the school, everybody up there be showing me love. The kids, the teachers, the workers, the staff, everybody be showing me love. My kids be acting brand new, like they don't know who I am, like they embarrassed me. Wait a minute, y'all. Wait a minute. Let me tell y'all about this little girl. Hold up. So I'm sitting up here looking for my kids. Who is this? We'll talk about it later. But anyways, I'm sitting up here looking for my kids and whatnot. Why this little girl? She's gonna say to me, sit by me. I was like, thinking to myself, I was like, okay, I can sit by you for a minute, but just for a minute because I'm looking for my girls. I was like, do you know who my girls are? And she's like, yeah. I was like, who are they? Mind you, this is when I was looking for Elizabeth earlier. I said, who are my kids? And she says, mm-mm. So I was like, what? Mm-mm. What'd you say? Mm-mm. I was like, yeah, no, that's not my child. So I started thinking, okay, maybe this child, there's, you know, something wrong. So I was like, let me leave her alone. So, you know, I was like, so what's your name? And, you know, she started talking about other stuff. I was like, yeah. I was like, let me leave her alone. Whatever. Then she had the nerve to tell me, why do you have hairs in your nose? Who? She said, you. She said, you have hairs in your nose. I was like, because I'm an adult. I'm grown. I said, grown people have hairs in their nose. She was like, oh, you're the only grown person I've seen with hairs in their nose. I ain't never had nobody say that to me before. Then she proceeded to say, why every time I see you, you shaking? Where you see me at? She said, I always see you up here. Every time I see you, you're shaking. Why you always shaking? I said, what grade you in? She's like, I'm in kindergarten. You in kindergarten? What you doing at this lunch? Where is your lunch? Where's your food? You just sitting here. Where your friends at? Why you by yourself? And she was like, I gotta wait for somebody to bring me something to eat. So I'm looking around, looking for somebody to bring her a plate or something, because she just sitting there just with me, talking to me, you know what I'm saying? I ain't minding nothing, but I just wanted to know why she wasn't eating. Oh. She proceeds to give me the business. Every time I see you, you cute and everything, but you always shaking. I was like, thank you? And she was like, thank you for what? I was like, because you said I was cute. And she was like, yeah, but I told you were shaking too. Let me tell you, kids gonna take it like it is. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, okay. She's like, so tell me, why are you shaking? Why do you always shake? Y'all know why I shake, whatever. Y'all know that I have spasms through it. And tremors throughout my body, whatever. I didn't want to tell this little girl this because she in kindergarten, and I didn't want her to have bad dreams and whatnot. And I didn't know how to break it down to her, you know what I'm saying? So what I said to her, I was like, this is what happened when you don't eat your vegetables. She was like, oh. I was like, yeah. So do you eat vegetables? Where are your vegetables? And she was like, I don't have any vegetables. So I was like, where is your food? Why you don't have your food? Lunchtime is almost over. So that's when this little boy came and sat down. And as soon as he sat down, this man came and was like, come on, let's go. So he hands the boy food to the girl, and she takes the food, and she's just gobbling. Y'all just going at it. So I was like, you hungry? She was like, yeah, I'm hungry. I said, okay, we'll make sure you eat all of it, okay? So that you won't shake like I do. She was like, but they didn't give me no vegetables. I was like, well, you should go up there and get you some vegetables. Y'all, why? Why I just didn't walk away from this child? Why? She's like, they didn't give me no vegetables. Who is this? Every time I'm talking to y'all, it's always somebody. So I was like, I should have walked away, y'all. But, she was sitting by herself or whatnot. So, there's nothing wrong with being curious. And I don't mind answering questions when kids have questions. But she was giving me the business, y'all. Because baby, when she had some questions for me. Then not only her, but then the teachers, they like, what you all dressed up for? Who you looking cute for? I was like, thank you. Like, what you mean? I'm just dressed regular. They was like, no, you ain't dressed regular. I was like, well, it is my birthday. They was like, what is your birthday? And everybody when I said that, everybody just went crazy. Like the teachers and whatnot, they going crazy. Everybody give me high five and woo-woo. They were like, Virgo, woo-woo. The kids, they getting excited. They saying happy birthday to me. Everybody getting happy and everything. But my kids. Yeah, but my kids. My kids don't care. They don't care. They don't be excited like I do. But I'm glad that everybody, was happy about my birthday and whatnot. And, y'all know I celebrate the whole month, and I let them know that I celebrate the whole month. I let them know, y'all. So then everybody was reading my shirt. Y'all know what my shirt say. You know what I'm saying? I wear a shirt all the time for my birthday. So everybody was reading my shirt and whatnot. It's like, yes, we was happy and, all that good stuff. So I said my goodbyes to everybody. They was in their feelings. Why you leaving? We don't want you to leave. Spend the day with us. I would have, but since my kids was acting brand new, like they didn't want me around, I was like, let me go ahead and leave because my kids must be embarrassed of me or whatever. And I've asked my kids several times, do y'all not like when I'm at the school and your friends and teachers be all over me? They're like, no, it's fine. We like it. I can't tell because y'all don't act nothing like y'all friends and teachers do. And then, y'all friend, the one last year that y'all were talking about was muscular and handsome and whatnot, and asking me questions about, he was there, he still worked there or whatnot. He's up there acting brand new. See, normally when he see me, he be happy or whatnot. But he had jokes today. I was like, so where we going for lunch? You know what I mean? Because normally that's what we do. You know what I mean? He talking about, I don't know, where your husband at? Who is this? Who is it? Is that my kids? Yeah, I think my kids. I think that's my kids. That's why I just seen some kids walk past the window. Let me let y'all go. I just had to come and tell y'all how today went and everything. How y'all doing today? We had some beautiful weather today. That's them. Thanks for watching, you guys. Make sure y'all thumbs up the video if you love spending time with your kids and whatnot, or your grandbabies. Thanks for watching. Y'all be blessed. And let y'all go and open the door for the food.